Hello there and welcome back to Building with the Boys. Start of a new week and we have got, to begin with, 87 to 90 of Fanhome's Ironman and part 12 of the premium base. Now, as is now become the tradition with Ironman, not a lot to do in this one. There just isn't. In the last one, we assembled the body. So the body's together now. We added the wings to the back and that's where we're in this one. I was kind of hoping we were attaching the arms and the head. We're not. So we're building what's called the Reactor cover, essentially the chest plate. And all we're really doing with that one is we're adding some detailing to the side, and we're adding the glass plate that goes in front of the Reactor. We then move on to the neck, which has criminally been split into two parts. It should have just been one. We make the neck joint. It's a very tiny 2-screw deal, tiny little joint. And then in 89, sorry, we're building the actual neck piece that will attach to the body. So we take that joint, put it into the neck, attach the neck to the body. And you'd think we'd be touching the head. We're not. You'd think we'd be touching the arms. We're not. We're moving to the abdomen. So in 90, we're building the abdomen, half of the abdomen. And then we'll continue the abdomen in next month. Now, I do rag on the Ironman a great deal, but I don't want you to think that I don't think it's a good model, because it is. I just wish there was much more to do, because we wait so long for it. It turns up and it's over in a moment. And I want more from a build. But it is a gorgeous model. And I will say this, we are now really close to the end. So in the next ones, we will assemble the upper part of Ironman. So next month we will have the head on the body, we'll have the arms on the body, and we have the abdomen on the body. We'll talk about that at the end. The premium base in this one is the same as the last two. So we're adding our final LED strips and our final cover. So now all the LED strips will be in, so all the light up it's going to do, it now does. The last two parts of the premium base are kind of overkill. There's a part that helps it rotate. We're going to build that. And then in the 14th part, which will come in January, it's literally just a cover for that. So the premium base, for all intents and purposes, is pretty much built at this point. It's just two more elements to go to it. So after this one, we'll take a look at it and we'll see that base fully lit up and see what it looks like. So without further ado, let's get into it. As I said, very, very, very little to do, but you will see what I mean. Okay, so here is everything that we get in stage 87. We have what's essentially the chest piece. This is plastic, it's not metal. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding these details here to the sides. We have the Reactor cover, which is going to go in the front. We're going to hold those with some screws. So these are quite simple. All of these are labelled. So we've got L1, 2 and 3 and R1, 2 and 3. So let's just get these put in and you'll see where they go. So starting with the longest one we've got, I'm going to pop this in here. Now these are all push to fit, which is a word that fills me with dread, because push to fit sometimes, just doesn't. That's in, but that feels loose, so I'm not delirious about that. There's our second one, goes in there. Yeah, these, not convinced about this. There's our third one. I'm not convinced these are right. Is that right? That doesn't look right. Is that right? That does not look right. Okay, let's have a check of this. Nope, apparently that is how that goes. That just looks, I don't know, that looks weird. That looks weird. Oh, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. So let's get these other three put in. You might want to tweezel these, because these aren't the easiest. I mean, you might not have enormous hands like me, but if you do, tweezers are the way to go, because this isn't the easiest bloody thing to do, I can tell you that. So that one. And then this one. This is taking entirely too long. There we go. Right. Just those three and those three in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to install this glass. Now we're going to flip this one over. We're going to take our glass piece here and install that in there. Let me get zoomed in on this. There we go. So this is only going to fit one way round. And it's that way. No, it would fit two ways. Okay, we've got very, very, very tiny screws to go in here. Miniature screws. So I'm going to use a little wearer to do this. But no need for oil. Again, we're going into plastic, so there really is no need to oil these screws. Let's get this lined up. See, normally I'd edit, but there's so little to do. Just don't need to. He says. Yeah. I can barely see. These things are tiny. Okay. No, right, I'm going to start this off. Right, so I found the problem. Problem is, I've screwed this in now, but you might have this problem as well. The plastic on this thing, this glass panel, hadn't been bored out. So I've just had to re-drill that to clear that out. Mine was solid. You might have that problem, you might not have that problem, but these screws were never going to go in because there was nowhere for them to go through. So I've had to clear that out. But that is that part complete. So that is how we're now looking. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll bring the body over and we'll attach this to it and see what that looks like. So that's how we're going to look with that attached to the body. So you can see that that's where detailing kicks in. It's looking alright, you know. It's looking alright. It's looking very bulky. Very bulky indeed. But yeah, it's oh yeah. So we're still getting the shine through there. It's looking good. Looking real good. Happy with that. Okay, so let's move on to the neck. So here is the entirety of pack 88. Now we're actually making two parts. We're making the neck base here and making the neck joint here. Again, it's fairly simple. This is a one screw deal. So, you know, nothing crazy, nothing labour intensive by any means. So let's get this built. Okay, so that's going to attach that way round. So this goes through that like that. And then we're putting through one of the incredibly long LP screws. So these here, so just line that up and we will be good to go. Now I want this tight, because what I don't want is a wobbly neck. That's as tight as that's going to go. I don't want a wobbly neck. Just don't. That's tight. Okay, that's pretty stiff. Right. Okay, good. That's that one done. And now what we're going to do is we're going to assemble this neck piece here. Again, it's quite basic. We are attaching that to that. Which way are we going? Yeah, there we go. Christ, why can't I figure this out? There's me go, it's really basic, and I can't actually see how it goes together. Okay, that's weird. Right. This is taking entirely too long. Okay, so we've got two pins. Right, there we go. Two pins there. And there we have it. And then we'll put in a screw into... Yeah, put a screw in there and a screw in there. Okay, so let's get those ready. It's just falling apart on me. We are coming to an end though, because as I said, this is actually built before 100. We don't have to go all the way to 100 to have a fully built Ironman. He's actually going to be built in 97. So providing they stay on track, what with the postage delays and whatnot, Ironman will be built in December. And then it's just torsos. That's all it is. It's just a series of torso parts to hold them together. I'm not convinced that's where that screw goes. It isn't. The screw goes on the other side, right? Yeah, so he'll be done in 97. So we do accelerate somewhat next month. So next month in 91 to 94, we will add the arms that are going to attach the body. The head is going to attach the body. And we are going to start assembling the legs. When I say that, when we've built the legs, we're going to start building what's essentially the lower body. So we're going to start making progress on building the legs and putting them together and having them ready to attach more. Once he's done, he does just clip together. He literally clips together. The legs, I think, are the only real difficult part. I think assembling those legs looks a little fiddly. It'll be interesting, put it that way. But once they go, they go. Can't get this lined up. Right. I have to hold this in front of my face, I'm afraid, to see what I'm doing. So that is those two pieces complete. We've now got our neck base and our neck joint. That's it for that one. Moving on to 89, we're going to build the actual neck. So we're going to use both these parts in the neck we're about to build. So this is everything from pack 89. These are our two neck pieces. Now the one we're going to be using is not this one. We want this one here. This is the one we are going for. And we are going to be working it on it that way around. Okay, so what they want us to do is take the base from the last one, and they want us to loosely put 2 GP screws in the 2 holes in there that have no screws in them yet. So that seems a bit weird because we're not screwing into anything, but again, that's what they're asking us to do, so let's do it. If we find a better way, we will let you know. But that's what they're asking, so I'm banging 2 GP screws into the 2 empty holes. Bit weird, but okay. I mean, we're not screwing into anything, so it seems a bit odd. That's one. That's 2. Now we're going to use those 2 screws we just put in to hold this in place, I would imagine. So this is going to go, yeah, it is. This is going to go in there. And we need this too. I see why they said to do it. Otherwise this would just be a massive balancing act. Okay, so we're going to rest this over those 2 pins, and then we're going to screw this into place. So there's 1. I don't think it's going to line up now. I know it is. Okay, that does work. That's actually really good advice they give. Okay, so that's 1. Again, make sure this is tight, because this isn't parts are going to start coming off easy, but don't over tighten it because it's plastic, you don't want to bore it out. Okay, so that's in. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our neck joint here, and with this part facing outward, it's going to slot into here like so. So that's the look we're going for. So that's where we are up to this stage. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to take our other part of the neck, and we're going to enclose this in. So hopefully this will obey. There we go. So that's that closed. Now all we've got to do is close this up, and we're going to use KP screws to do that. I believe they're KPs. Yeah, KP screws. Let's get 2 of those. We'll close this neck up, and that's pretty much going to be this one complete. See, this is what I mean. This is just, there's just not much to do. Right, let's go straight through. We're going to use these 2 holes here and here. Go straight through. Feel like put it nice and tight. That's 1. 1 more. Tighten that one a little bit more. There we go. Right, So it's that complete. Now, to finish, put this double neck piece on the chest, insert in the lower neck joist position in the direction shown in the image. Okay. Let's make sure we get this on the right way around, because what I don't want to do is have to yank this off later. So that is the way around. That will be facing forwards. That's the back. That's facing forwards. And we are going to try and get this onto here. Now, let's move these pieces. I know getting anything to fit to these ball joints is a nightmare, because I've done this in the past. But who knows? Maybe we'll get it in one. And we did. Oh Christ, that was easy. So there we go. We've got a neck in place on the body. So there we have it. I mean, there's not a ton of movement to this. It just means you've got some, you know, how much can you really move this section of your neck? Not much at all. But there is movement there. What is going to happen? I would advise you don't do this. The temptation is going to be hard, because I mean, I really want to do it right now. Is the head will be going on to here. But once that head's on, that head ain't coming off. So that is how we're going to go. But once that's on, getting that back off is not going to be easy, possibly causing damage. Let me zoom out. So that's where we're going to be. So our head's going to go on there. So you get an idea of kind of what we can do with him now. And the neck naturally will swivel back, so you can go back. That's about as far back as you can go. So there's a lot that, I mean, that's how he's going to work. That's how he's going to look. Now I've not got that fixed in place, because again, like I said, resist the temptation. So there he is. That's how he's looking right now. Again, I've not fully attached this. Mine's rested. That's the only reason that's staying on. No other reason at all. It's rested. I just want to take a look at what he's looking like. But you can see where we're going with this. Pepsi can for scale. You get an idea of how big he is. We're moving on to the abdomen now. Okay, so here are all the parts we get. Part 90. These are plastic. This is plastic. This is metal. So we are going to be attaching this ab plate, this one here, to our metal plate. To do that, we are going to be using KP screws, because we're going through the back. So this is quite simply a case of attaching this to that. I'm going to flip that round. Now this is going to be difficult to film because it's black on black, but well, there's not what I can do about that. So I'm taking these KP screws. Now it's weird because it feels like we're screwing into metal, but we're not. We're screwing through the metal, and this is going to be held in place with 4 of these. So if I can, let me see if I can zoom so you can see this better. There we go. Okay, so we're going into here first. Again, there's no need for the 3-in-1 because we're just going into plastic, and it'll probably be a hindrance rather than a help at this point. So there's one in. I got the second one in, and we'll put that one in over here. So does anyone else do that? I was always told to spider webbing, they called it in my school, to go for kind of the diagonal opposite if you're screwing something in, and get as many kind of varied screws into position as you can. I don't know why. I don't know if there's actually any benefit to that, but it's just something, I suppose once you've done it, you're kind of stuck in your way. But so I've always done it. But yeah, my CDT teacher, craft design technology, used to call it spider webbing. They'd go to the opposite corners. No idea why, but it's always seen me right. So maybe there was something in it. Then again, he once advised me to use a screwdriver as a chisel, and I've never really forgot that either. So for lack of a chisel, use a flathead screwdriver. I don't recommend that. Just get a bloody chisel. Funny days. Okay, so we've got one more of these to put in, and that goes in there. And that is that attached. That looks really nice. That looks really nice. I think that's going to be covered over though. I mean, I'm hoping you see some of that. I don't think you do. I think that all gets covered up. But that is the way it is. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here. Now there are two very similar looking pieces here. I want to make sure I've got the right one. It is yeah, this piece here is going to slot in here. Let's just right around. It is. Alright, how's that work then? Huh. Is that all the way around? Let's try and figure this one out. There we go. We go, aha! We go in there. So that's where we go in. And then we are holding this in place with two IM screws. So there we go. So the two IM screws are going to go both here and here. Now, because it's metal into metal, I do want my 3-in-1 oil just to transition this in, and that completes our main parts of the Ironman build for this month. We do have the premium stand to do. I will show you a very brief kind of version of that because it's the third time I've done it. I mean, there's nothing new here. It's it's the same as the last two. So if you want, you can go and look at the other two and just watch that back and pretend this is the third one. But I'm still going to put it together. I'll show you how that works, and we're about to see it all lit up. So that will be worth seeing because we will now see exactly how much illumination this thing is going to give off. I don't think it's loads. It's not like, I might be wrong. I mean, with the third set of LEDs, it's not kicking off loads of light to begin with. It glows is what it does. So I wouldn't, you know, it's not like an uplighter kit. It glows. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on it. It's hard to stay upbeat about Ironman because, as I said, as models go, it is a beautiful model. It's just not particularly fun or engaging. Okay, so that's that one done. Is that complete? We're not using this piece. We're putting that to one side. So let's go with our other box of bits of Ironman. But again, I need to see. I want to see. That's how that goes. So that's how he's looking now. And then you got the release switch on the back to take it off. Looking good. Happy with that. Right, premium base. So there we have it. I've built this. I put the last two panels in the same as last month. And this is pretty much complete now. We just got to put the pole and the base on it for the next two issues. So let's see if we can light this one up for you. Find the switch. There we are. So now we're all lit up. All four panels working. Happy with that. Again, just to get an idea of just the scale of this thing. There's his little head there. He's going to stand on this. This thing's going to look lovely. It really is. I mean, the Ironman stand on there. This is kicking off a significant amount of light as well. This is going to look great. Let's have a chat. That's that one complete. And I mean, as always with Ironman, it's kind of a very brief visitation from him, and then he's done. It's all over so quick. The base is looking lovely. I mean, the thing I can't take away from that base is looking stunning. Massive, which again is if you're considering building this, consider your space on where you're going to display it, because that base takes up a lot of room. A hell of a lot of room. It's gorgeous, but it's bulky. So what next for Ironman? Well, next month in November, we will be getting 91 to 94. And we will be continuing abdomen. So we're going to finish off the abdomen. We are going to attach both arms to the body and the head to the body. So by 94, we will have the upper body of Ironman is built. The whole thing is pretty much built. And then the month after, in December, 95 to 98, he's built by 97. So we are only 7 issues off having a complete Ironman now. It's been a long road, but we're coming to the end of it now. It's just, again, I keep saying it, and I shouldn't really. It's just not. It's not very intensive. If you were starting out and you're looking for a part work to do, I think this is great, because you get the basics of it. But there's not really been there's no real challenge to this. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes people hate those issues, like attaching the ecto chassis to the frame was a nightmare. And most part works have that nightmare issue. I'm expecting that one to be issue 97. When we attach those legs to the body, I can't see that being easy. I mean, ultimately it does just clip together, but we make a pelvis with legs attached to it, and that looks like it's going to be a bit fiddly, but it's fine. We'll get through it. But he is coming to an end, and it is nice to finally see this coming to an end, because I've just got bits everywhere of this thing. So to bolt him together and have one complete Ironman, it's way overdue. But he will be done. He'll be done by Christmas. We are still going to the end, though, because I want the final parts, the premium base. And I do want the other abdomens. So we are building 4 abdomens for Ironman, which will give one of the 4 poses that he has. I know most people are just having him standing upright. So if you're not going premium, you could stop next month. You could cancel the final 2. I know after January, so January should just be 99 and 100 turning up, but I'm fairly sure they're going to try and sneak in 2 of the parts I don't want, because this is extending to 120 issues with battle damage parts. I'm not doing that. I just don't have the affection for this model to justify the extra expense of those battle damage parts, which, let me think about it, that's going to be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 48... 200 quid, an extra 200 quid for the battle damage. Nope, not happening, not happening. Because the battle damage isn't good enough for me. I looked at it and I just don't have the battle damage. The battle damage for me just looks like someone's took a scouring pad to him. You could do that yourself if you wanted to. Why you would, I don't know. If, again, I've said this before, if he was scorched and he had dents in him and things like that, if they had the version where the mask is cracked, I might go for it. But they haven't. It just looks like someone's dragged him along the ground. It looks like your model's fallen off the shelf and scuffed. That's what it looks like. So I'm not interested. Also, there's no practical way of putting those battle damage parts on and off. So it's not like his clip-on parts where now he's battle damaged. You're literally taking him apart again to put battle damaged legs and things like that. I just don't want to. It's not for me. It ain't something I'm going to do. That's it for this one. What else have we got coming up on the channel this week? So we have got Rootmaster Pack 10 of the double-decker bus will be coming up this week. We've got a ton of R2-D2 coming up as well, also from Fanhome. We'll have our catch-up, and we've got a Marvel talk coming up as well. So if you haven't yet, please hit the like button. It does us a world of good. What does us even more is to subscribe. So if you want to see Iron Man go to the end, you can hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. It'll tell you when one of these videos comes up. That's all from me. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and we will catch you on the next one.